Now, preview.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dori Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D-18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to this pre-Thanksgiving episode of a Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dori Lou. We're back in the sports bar as always to bring you all the news in sports. Be it well, if you were listening to the intro, hey, you know what we're going to talk about. The lineup is the same. The rules are the same. If you want to dictate the conversation, please. It's almost the official holiday season. Super chat, super chat, super chat. It's as simple as that. We're closing the books on a couple, keeping the books open on another, opening a new chapter this week. Let's get started. The men's golf is now in the books as Swedish player Ludvig Ogberg, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. He won the final tournament in the Fall FedEx Cup, which was a bit of a warm-up. It was also to assist players into properly getting into the 2024 FedEx Series, which starts on January 4th. He shot a 9 under in the last round to win the RSM Classic in St. Simons Island, Georgia. It's his fourth win overall, his first of the season. And that pretty much ends everything for golf in 2023. The upcoming events there coming up on November 30th after the Thanksgiving break is the Hero World Challenge. This is just an exhibition matchup. The top 20 players come in and they play to help benefit for the Tiger Woods Foundation, and the legendary player himself, Tiger Woods, will be there. So it's just a good old-fashioned, let's come out and play and raise money for that. And then the next tournament after that is the Grant Thornton Invitational, which is in partnership with the LPGA. It's a mixed teams tournament where the guys play with the ladies. And They have 3 separate events in one day with different rules. For example, let's say Dori and I were on the links together. We would play one round where we would each hit a golf ball, and then Dori and I would decide which golf ball to play after that. If Dori hits the ball better than I do, we play Dori's ball. If my ball is in the rough and her ball is in the fairway, we play hers. If we're both in the fairway, who's ever lies better, or whatever. Then the next day, they'll play the alternating one where Dori and I would hit the same ball, but we take turns. So she would hit first, and then wherever the ball lands, I would have to hit it. Or if I hit first, she would have to play the next one. And then there's one other tournament I can't really remember right now, but again, it's all for fun. And then on December 14th is the PGA Tour Q School. This is the final qualifying tournament, which will allow entry into the 2024 season. It's not really for money. It's not really for points. It's just your last chance to get in. So officially, this closes the book on the men. They're done except for the exhibition stuff. On the fence, we can mention it, but it's not quite a big deal. So congratulations to Ludvig Aberg of Sweden. Let's talk about the ladies. Take it away, Dori Lou.
All right. So Amy Yang picked the last tournament of the season to get her first LPGA title. She won the CME Group Tour Championship by getting a birdie the last 2 holes and shot a 6 under 66 to claim the $2 million purse, which matched the largest purse in women's golf. And while I'm seeing it here, hello, Daniel. Be safe in Iowa. Get back home safely when you do. And then we have a couple of things going on. So congratulations. First of all, congratulations to Amy Yang. Then we've got, I'm going to say an honorable mention to Athea Thitical. She won, it's the Vare Trophy winner. She won the 2023 trophy. And this is for the lowest scoring average. She is the 34th winner of this particular trophy, and she's actually the second one from Thailand. She did something really unique, though, with this win this year. She is the first person to win this trophy without actually winning a tournament the same year.
Ooh, impressive.
Yeah, there you go. They're getting ready to take a break before they go to the Grant Thornton Invitational Mixed Team Tournament, which round 1 begins Wednesday, December 6th. And then their new season actually starts. Their 2024 season will actually begin on January 18th with the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions.
And also congratulations to Lilia Vu, who was named the Player of the Year.
Yes, she was.
I was actually, even though this is the first season on the Sports Bar where we featured women golf, I was kind of rooting for Celine Boutier. She was dominating almost the entire season. She was always the number 1 player. And then Lilia came up, and then Celine got it close to the end, and then it went back and forth at the very end there. But that's what happens. At any time, anybody can take over that number 1 spot, no matter.
Yes, they can.
All righty. I believe we are going into we're going right into tennis next, and then we'll take the break. Okay, so up next, ATP Tennis had their final tournament of the season, the Nitto ATP Finals in Turin, Italy. Who else but the Joker? Novak Djokovic wins his 7th ATP Finals, defeating Jannik Sinner. They played a round-robin match earlier in the tournament, which was overcome. So the Joker wins again. He is, I believe that is also a record. I believe the record was 6. I don't remember who had it, though. Upcoming, starting tonight, actually, is the Davis Cup Finals. Then the Next Gen ATP Finals. These are for the I guess you can call them the rookies. They're under 21 years of age. So this is their version of the finals. And then they take a long break, and the 2024 season starts for both leagues of men's and women's. They play in the United Cup. It's mixed doubles. So the ladies team up with the men. They play standard tennis. And whoever wins that one gets points into a brand new season. So this closes the book on tennis and golf for the Sports Bar, just to get through the holidays. Once we start 2024, they come back into the lineup. Go ahead.
However, the tournament, the mixed team tournament that's taking place in December, we will cover those results at the completion of that tournament.
Indeed. Again, Stefanos Tsitsipas did not compete. Back issues. I was rooting for him the whole time. I guess I like him. My top three are Tsitsipas, the Joker, and Carlos Alcaraz, because they have a great rivalry going on. And of course, the ladies, it was all about Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff. They have a very good, excellent 2024 ahead of them. And of course, they will be nominated. Don't forget, on the SBSBs, those will be coming out. So the plan for that is, what I'm going to do, I'm going to borrow this from Noah Foster, because what he does is he sends out the prediction league. So what I'm going to do is, if you are part of the multiverse of media here, you'll get a chance to vote on who should win them. I'm pretty sure we have enough people to get a consensus on who you think should win. So that's coming up. I believe we're doing that at the end of football season, if I remember correctly. Not totally. Yeah. So, golf, tennis, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, maybe throw in some ring sports, throw in wrestling there maybe as well. And at the end of football season, we present that. So a lot of the golfers and tennis players, I'll give the stats. I'll give you a little heads up as to why they were nominated and their accomplishments. You pick the winners. We all vote. Highest vote wins. And then we present that simple award at the end of the season. And Pop is here. Hello, Pop. Love you, Pop. Wearing the hat like I promised. Love the Pop. And Zach says Coco is number one. Yeah, I can say with me it's Coco, Iga, and I got to go with my country, Maria Sakkari. I have to. I can't not say anything bad about her. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we open the new chapter, starting with college basketball. Keep an eye out. We'll be right back.
Here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Xia Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion, Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate, will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
We welcome the Fantasy God into our sports bar for the week. And also remember, if you have not seen the Disney karaoke, which we did last weekend. Go back and watch it. It was a great time held by all. We had a blast. Thank you again to everybody. Yes, open mic night to Disney karaoke. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you so much. We had a great time doing it, and we're going to do more and more coming up in the future.
Look, I still have Disney Week going.
Yes, you do. Your Haunted Mansion.
It is my Haunted Mansion coffee cup.
There you go.
Nice.
Indeed it is. Welcome again, Zach. How you doing today, sir? Doing good?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
We're doing good. All right. We now open the book on college basketball. Here are the top 25 teams for men and women. Now, this is the AP top 25. The source comes from Wikipedia. The rankings are compiled by polling 62 sports writers and broadcasters from across the nation. Each voter provides their own ranking of the top 25 teams, and the individual rankings are then combined to produce the national ranking, which you see on the screen. The team that each person says is number one earns 25 points. Then it goes all the way down to 1. So it is not power rankings like I do, or is it based on records or anything? So easily one person can say the AP is wrong. One team has a better record than others. So as of week 3, Kansas is the number 1 team, followed by Purdue, Arizona, Marquette, and UConn round out the top 5. Houston is 6th. Our hometown Tennessee, or our residential team, the Tennessee Vols, are 7th. Creighton is 8th. Duke is 9th. Miami of Florida is 10th. Gonzaga is 11th. Texas A&M is 12th. Baylor, North Carolina, and Texas round out the top 15. Kentucky, Alabama, Colorado, Florida Atlantic, and Arkansas go to the top 20. Michigan State, James Madison, USC, Virginia, and Mississippi State round out the top 25. Just going off, I'll quickly throw out some records. Duke is the only team in the top 10 with a loss. Everybody else, Kentucky has a loss as well. Florida Atlantic and Arkansas have a loss. Michigan State has 2. USC has 1. Everybody else in the top 25 are undefeated. Houston has the best record at 6-0. So, of course, my number 1 question, why would you not put Houston number 1 with the best record? And, of course, the favorites come in. You know, we're going to pay more attention to the Tennessee Volunteers because that's where we live. So it's not necessarily, you know, who plays who. And, of course, the end goal, of course, takes place March 2024 with March Madness. So these teams are all jockeying for position. You want to be the number 1 team because you want to get that good tournament spot in the end. Kansas and Purdue are only 3-0. So why would Kansas be number 1? The majority of these people put them at number 1. Zach, if you've got some answers, we got questions, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. The reason why Kansas is number 1 is because of strength of schedule and the power of popularity throughout the basketball community.
Okay.
Yes, my favorite team is the only team in the top 10 with a loss, which, go figure. A team who was in the top 10 who dropped 9 spots because they lost 1 game was Florida Atlantic. They started the season in the top 10 because they finished in the Final Four. Actually, they finished in the national championship game last year.
Right.
The most intriguing team on the entire list that I cannot help but give so much love to is James Madison.
Okay.
Not the college team, the college football playoff rankings are terrible. But James Madison in the AP of college football and basketball, being a small school on top of both is something simply remarkable.
I see.
I'm a Duke fan, yes.
What is it?
I bleed blue. I've been a Duke fan my entire life. Everybody's like, "Oh, you hop on a bandwagon." Bro, I've been a Duke fan since Shane Battier in 2001, so I don't want to hear it.
So
what other questions do you have?
Let's go ahead and have Dori Lou read off the ladies. That way we give their credit as well.
All right. So again, following the same guidelines, the AP Top 25 Women's College Basketball, again, week 3. First place is South Carolina, followed by UCLA, Colorado, Stanford, Iowa, University of Connecticut, LSU, USC. Yeah, get rid of them. Virginia Tech. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Virginia Tech, Utah, North Carolina State, Texas, Florida State, Baylor, the Ohio State, correct?
Correct.
Kansas State, Notre Dame, North Carolina, Our Lady Vols are right there in 19th, at least they're in the top 25. Louisville, Indiana, Oklahoma, Washington State, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. All right, before we cover any more, and I probably just need to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina State, are those the Tar Heels?
No.
That's North Carolina University.
Yes.
Is that University
UNC.
of North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. And Washington State in 23rd for the ladies. I'm trying to remember. That's the Cougars, and then the University of Washington is the Huskies, correct?
Correct.
Very good. For me, college basketball was always around. For the regular season games, of course I didn't pay attention to. It was always March Madness, which is the end goal.
Yeah.
So I would root for Duke. I would root for Kansas. I would root for UCLA because there were just so many teams that I just didn't know of. Then each year would bracketology 101. There has never been a official recorded perfect bracket. Some people can claim they have it, but they have to put it out on the internet now. I mean, because you can't just fill out a bracket and oh, look, guys, I have the winning bracket. It doesn't work that way. Thanks to the invention of the internet, it just doesn't exist. How long is the season, Zach?
Till
Goes
March.
to into March, isn't it?
It
March
ends,
or April?
It ends the first weekend of April.
With the tournament.
Yes.
Okay, so the
Final four is in April.
Yeah.
The tournament goes out throughout the whole March.
So are we thinking the beginning of March is when we start the predictions as to where teams are going to fall and all that?
The men, I will say this. The men, it's going to be completely boring.
Really?
The women, man. Because Paige Beckers is back for UConn, which makes UConn a powerhouse again. What is her name? Caitlin from Iowa makes them a powerhouse because she's, I don't want to admit it because I love Angel Reese. Don't get me wrong. I love LSU with everything. We were the number 1 team and we got beat by Colorado. I guess Deion's rubbing off on something the right way.
Okay. I was going to say, wait, Deion, did he have any influence over there?
I do believe he did.
On the football field, maybe, but I don't know about on the basketball court.
But now South Carolina, Mikey, South Carolina has lost 2 games in 3 years.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's impressive. In fact, I think UConn went the perfect season. I think a few years back, we've got 3 powerhouse teams, I believe, in UConn. Okay, maybe 4. UConn, UCLA, because UCLA has always been basketball for me over football. Our Lady Vols, which we have to pay attention to, and there was one other one, UConn. The Huskies, UCLA, Tennessee, and South Carolina. Top 4, Mount Rushmore of college basketball right now. Opinion.
Of the women's?
Yes, of the women's, yes. The men has always been Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Kansas. For me. I mean, it was always
hit the nail on the coffin there.
Right. I mean, that's all it is.
You notice a trend with that? It's blue.
Indeed, it is.
JJ, I'm with you right there. Okay.
That should be coming out after Thanksgiving. So this is a regular thing. Each week we'll put the post up. We'll put the rankings up according to the AP. They're not my rankings; they're their rankings. Maybe I'll do rankings on my own. I don't know. We'll see. If I do, I'll go by the records. Maybe we'll compare the two. We'll see where it goes. It's a brand new chapter with endless possibilities. Moving on to the pros into the NBA. Let's take a look at what's happening in the in-season tournament. Games were played on November 14th and November 17th. And as you can see, some of the teams are X'd out. That means they are out of contention for the tournament, even though the season continues. So we start in the West in Group A, where the Jazz beat the Trailblazers 115-99. The Lakers beat the Grizzlies, but we don't talk about them. And that was the game that eliminated the Grizzlies from the group play, 134-107. The Suns defeated the Jazz, 131-128. And the Lakers won again against the Trailblazers, 107-95. So that puts the Lakers at 3-0. And there is a set of games tonight. So if the Lakers win, that puts them at 4-0, and that's pretty much going to give them the check mark in their group, which they advance to the knockout stage. My initial thought: they have something to play for other than what they should be playing for, which is the NBA title, because the winner of this tournament gets $1 million prize. Dori Lou, tell us what happened in Group B in the West.
No, I want Group C.
Oh, you want Group C? Okay, fine. I will take Group B then. The Pelicans defeated the Mavericks 131-110. I almost said the Broncos. The Mavericks. Okay, a Bronco and a Maverick are the same animal. They're both horses. Okay.
I'll give you that much. Go ahead.
So it's a half a botch. The Mavericks defeated the Clippers 111-108. The Pelicans again beat the Mavericks 115-110, and the Clippers defeated the Rockets, who are, when you see the next graphic, you'll see how good they're doing, 106-100. Group B is still wide open. Go ahead with Group C in the West.
Time
out. What timeout?
The Pelicans beat the Nuggets.
Did I say the Mavericks?
Yes.
Okay. That one I'll accept as a botch. Go ahead.
All right. I'm actually going to start this one at the bottom.
Okay.
So Sacramento defeated San Antonio 129-120. Oklahoma defeated San Antonio 123-87. And my beloved Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Golden State Warriors 104-101. Okay, I'm happy.
And there's an X over the Spurs because they are out as well.
Okay.
All right. We move down to the East. You want to take that one as well?
I'll take that one.
Go ahead.
Atlanta defeated Detroit. Sorry, Pistons, 126-120. Indianapolis beat Philadelphia 132-126. Then Philly turned around and beat beat Atlanta 126-116, and Cleveland, go Cavs, Josh Mansfield, defeated the Pistons 108-100.
And not only beat them, they eliminated them as well. So 3
Eliminated.
teams are gone. In Group B in the East, the Heat beat the Hornets. They're our neighbors. They're one of the only teams we can root for in the pros because we don't talk about the Grizzlies, so maybe we have to root for the Hornets. The Heat beat the Hornets 111-105. My new bandwagon team on the Bucks, they also defeated the Hornets 130-99. And the Knicks beat the Wizards 120-99. That grouping is still wide open. We don't know where that's going. And in the final group, the Nets beat the Magic 124-104. The Celtics beat the Raptors 108-105. And the Magic defeated the Bulls 103-97.
Oh my gosh, the Bulls lost?
The Bulls
Again?
haven't had a good winning season since Jordan retired. How about that?
Okay, well that probably explains it.
How dare you disrespect Derrick Rose?
He's no Jordan. Derrick Rose is nowhere near the level of Michael Jordan. That's not disrespect. That's an honest fact.
See, without Michael Jordan, I don't even know who the Bulls are. Sorry. But I haven't followed basketball in many, many years. I'm just kind of catching back into it a little bit. That's why I stumble over some of the teams still. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
Indeed. And let's take a look and see where the teams have fallen into this week in the power rankings. Mansfield, you've already had one issue. Let's not start another one. Who's Derek? You're calm down, Zach. Breathe, brother.
Good job, Zach.
All right,
Mansfield, you're gonna get it later. I swear.
Shut the fuck up, John.
That's why we have Noah Foster to do that. Let's take a look at the power rankings and see where the teams fall. We have a new number 1 team at 11-3, the Boston Celtics. They switched places with the Philadelphia 76ers, who are at 10-3, who are tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh!
And they're both at 120.5, so I needed to fix that graphic, but it is a virtual tie between the two. The Milwaukee Bucks finish out the top, are just in the top 5. They're at 10-4. The Oklahoma City Thunder are just below them at 119.6. And the defending champion Denver Nuggets, they round out column 1 at 113.2. Dallas starts out column 2 at 9-5, tied with the Heat. And the Sacramento Kings are 1 game behind them at 8-5. They are tied with the Orlando Magic. And right behind them are the Lakers at 8-6. And rounding out column 2 are the Knicks. They're just behind 111.9 to 110.1. We go to the middle. Middle is A-OK. Middle is fine. Indiana starts the top of column 3 at 7-5. Phoenix is right below them, tied with Cleveland at 7-6, of a 6-point difference in the two. The Pelicans are right in the middle of column 3, and they are even at 500 at 7-7. Every team below them, below 500. The Golden State Warriors at 7-8, and the Atlanta Hawks are also at 500 at 6-6, and that rounds out column 3. Column 4 is the Houston Rockets. Houston, you have a problem because you dropped 13 spots. You dropped 2 whole columns going into the right, but you're at the top of column 4, so it's not so bad yet. Brooklyn's at 6-7, tied with the Raptors. The Clippers are by themselves at 5-7, and the Bulls are at 5-10. And the Jazz finish out column 4 at 4-9, who are tied with the Charlotte Hornets, only by 3 points or so. Our residential town Grizzlies that are 6 hours away in Memphis are 3-10. They are tied with the Trailblazers. The Spurs are at 3-11. The Wizards are 2-11, and the Pistons at the bottom of the barrel at 2-13. Not looking good, and Zach's calling a timeout.
Okay, before we move on,
yes,
there is something we need to discuss in this sport right here.
Okay.
Draymond Green.
Okay. What did he do that's so horrible?
Draymond Green was ejected from the game versus the Minnesota Timberwolves in a record, let's see, 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game
Wow.
for choking out
I
Mr.
saw
Carl
that.
Anthony Town. No, it was Rudy Gobert. I'm sorry. Rudy Gobert.
Yes. Apparently, he has such an issue of playing when big name on the team.
Which one?
The choker, not the chokey.
Oh, Draymond Green.
Okay, Green. So there's a teammate that was not playing that night. And apparently this happens whenever this teammate does not play. And I can't think of his name right now without pulling up looking for articles.
I do believe it was Klay Thompson. Or your player.
No, the other player.
Yeah, it was Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Anyways, whenever this particular player isn't going to be on the floor that night, Green does something to get ejected from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the sportsmanship in that?
And that's why he was suspended.
It doesn't exist.
I mean, so he's actually been completely suspended now for how long?
5 games. Because if you count the playoffs last year, we're only like 15 games into the season.
Mm-hmm.
He has this season so far. He has 6 technical fouls.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's not an accomplishment you want. The technical foul is on the path to ejection. It is. I mean, come on.
So I look at it like this. I'm looking at players and stupidity. Draymond Green likes to get himself ejected. John Morant likes to carry around guns.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the discipline?
There isn't any.
Like, where's Phil Jackson when you need him? Where, rest in peace, God rest his soul, because he was a legend. Where's Bobby Knight when you need him? Bobby Knight wouldn't be having this shit.
Because he'd be throwing a chair halfway across the court.
Or he'd be throwing it at Draymond's head.
Maybe he give him a question and take him out.
Much about him.
This guy's got problems. He's got. I mean, just from the little bit I read from that particular incident, he's just a very overall poor sportsman in general. Sore winner, sore loser, even worse, sore loser, more sore loser.
Wow.
There we go. I got the words out.
He's just like J.R. Smith.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, no. Rodman takes the cake for certain.
I don't know.
He kicked the cameraman back in the 90s. You can't. And let's not talk about the Malice in the Palace. Oh, let's not forget those historical events.
Oh, Mr. Ron Artest? Oh,
yeah. Meta World Peace. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. This guy has got some issues. And you know what? I hope while he's suspended, he gets some counseling.
We need to do an extra, like a show extra where we talk about the biggest melees or player problems in the NBA in history. So you got Draymond, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace.
You go. I mean, here's another guy that I've wanted to talk about last week. What's going on with the Clippers and James Harden? I mean, the Clippers are winning, but the team he's on now is not. It's not taking place.
We do not discuss how bad my Clippers are doing on this show, Michael.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, the problem, no. The problem. Hold on.
Okay.
The problem is, you put too many ball dominant players on the same team with each other at one time. Paul George and Kawhi know how to work off of each other.
Right.
But you add Russell Westbrook and James Harden to the equation, that's like having LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, and Shaq on the same team. Everybody
Talk
wants
about
the ball.
testosterone wars.
Ooh.
Who the fuck wrote this bullshit?
Exactly.
Thank you, Stone Cold. That would work on the NBA games on your PlayStation, I think. But you wouldn't miss a shot unless you had Shaq on the free throw line. I'm just saying.
I'm about to pull up Brock Lesnar, and please, Dori Lou, no offense, but all that testosterone running through that locker room over there, they're gonna need some estrogen to balance it all out. Ask Brock Lesnar; it helps.
It makes perfect sense. Indeed.
Yep,
All right.
Well, before you go on, your top three for the NBA Eastern Conference
yes.
are the Celtics at 11-3 and the 76ers and the Bucks. Well, the 76ers are 10-3. The Bucks have had one more game. They are 10-4. Your Western Conference is my Timberwolves at 10-3. The Nuggets and the Thunder at 10-4.
There you go, your division leaders. Remember, this all leads up to the NBA Finals, and I think next month will be the end of the in-season tournament. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, Miracles on Ice. Stick around.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
Woo! Winston-Salem, North Carolina, coming up the weekend after Thanksgiving. Have your turkey and then go check out all the events with Parker Kane Productions.
Whoa.
Ouch. Okay.
Really? Not the Young Bucks?
Well, he's taking a shot at me. He is. And
Yeah,
that's okay.
I know.
Indeed it is. All right. Let's take a look at the NHL Power Rankings. It finally happened. We have a new number one team. The Bruins have knocked off the Knights, and that stops the 5-week streak. They're at 29 points. The Knights are at 28 points. So they've swapped places. The Canucks and the Rangers have also switched spots, 27 and 25. The remaining 4 teams in column 1 all stayed the same. The Stars, the Panthers, the Kings, and the Avalanche. They all are in the exact same spot as they were last week. That's why it says 2 weeks in column 1. In column 2, Winnipeg takes over the top spot there. They're at 22 points. They are tied with their fellow Canadians, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're both at 10-5-2. And the Jets have Yes, Josh, this is where you're supposed. Well, it's not Go Kings. You have to add in one more go. Hashtag GKG. Go Kings Go. You say Go Kings, then all the Kings fan will riot against you. The Maple Leafs are 1 goal behind the Jets, 63-62. The Lightning are at 22 points as well. They have a lesser record at 9-6-4. The Philadelphia Flyers jumped from column 3 to column 2. They're at 21 points. The Hurricanes were at the top of column 2 last week. They dropped 4 spots. They're at 20 points. They are tied with the Capitals. And the St. Louis Blues and the Detroit Red Wings finish out column 2 at 19 points. The Red Wings are in danger. Not yet, they aren't. Nope, they're in the left. If they're in the right, if they're in the right, then it's almost danger time. The Kraken are at the top of column 3 at 19 points, 7, 8, and 5. They jumped up to the top of column 3. They were at the bottom of column 3 last week. The Penguins are at 18 points, tied with the Ducks, who are at 9-9. The Penguins are at 9-8, so they have a slightly better record. Ducks took a drop and went down 7 spots. Coyotes are tied with the Ducks as well. They have a lower record at 8-2. They only dropped 1 spot. They're fine. The Devils and the Sabres and the Flames and the Islanders round out column 3. They're all tied at 17 points. The Flames jumped from 4 to 3. We go to column 4. That's the spot where you don't want to be, but it's still early in the season. I believe we're on week 6 right now. The Senators are at the top at column 4. They stay put. The Canadians are right below them with a lesser record. Smashville, Nashville at 14 points, just above the Minnesota Wild, who are both in column 4. They both have 14 points. They're both essentially they switched spots almost. The Predators were lower last week.
Yeah, my Wild are just struggling right now.
Yeah, they are. Blue Jackets at 12. Oilers at 11. Chicago at 10. Come on, Connor Bedard, start scoring some goals, please. But you're at least you're not the San Jose Sharks, who are 5 weeks at the bottom of the barrel, 3-14-1. Another losing streak there, and they've lost 2 in a row, I think. But when you see what we've done with the NFL segment in the next, you'll see why you don't want to. Oh, good reference! 1967 Batman TV film. Good job. The shark propellant bat spray. Yeah, but I get that Connor's young, but I mean. Come on, bro. Go ahead.
Zach first.
Ladies first.
He's a kid. He's just getting started. He's got to have room for improvement. He's got to make mistakes and grow. It's going to take some time. Just because he's one of the youngest pros does not mean he's going to be an automatic superstar. Go ahead, Zach.
Listen, this hurts me more than anybody because he's on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what doesn't reconcile with me. How could Connor be doing so bad and the Sharks be doing so bad, but a team without a home is doing better than both of them? You can't make me understand that.
And which team are you talking about?
Arizona. They ain't got no home. They're a ward of the state. They're in state custody. Wait, that's a whole different. Never mind.
Yeah, let's not go. Do you see the Coyotes' new arena or moving to a new city? What do you think?
Where would they go?
Good question, Tim.
I think before anything, I think you got to look at relocation. I mean, if you're going to relocate anybody, this is the team you got to look at first.
Yeah.
With the idea of expansion coming soon, but
And we've already got one team in the desert, and look what they completed and did. Two teams in the desert is just not enough. It's not going to work.
Arizona's not really good at sports right now, are they? Besides basketball.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Indeed not. So we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about, it's good to have a fresh number one. That way it's not stale. That way you're just not plowing through everybody. Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. But we know that, the Knights are going to defend their title so far. It's pretty much a lock. They'll get back on the top spot. You don't have to be the top spot. You just got to be in there, and so far I think they'll be fine. And the Sharks are probably, I'm going to give the Sharks maybe another 2 months before they start wondering who's looking good in 2024, 2025.
MJF. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong sport.
We'll get to that.
Wrong sport.
One more quick commercial. We'll give you the appetizer coming up next, and then it's time for the meat and potatoes. Good old NFL football. Check this commercial out. Be right back.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Bravo, sir. Well done. Indeed.
Oh,
I will definitely have to check that out. And wow, I didn't even know that. I kind of got I got chills, literally. Wow. Very well done. Very well put. The The Mansfield of the Multiverse is here now to join us as he gives me the eyebrow. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Because you said it wrong.
I know.
Meltzer of the Multiverse, you jack off.
Hey.
Language, child.
Yes, Mom.
There you go.
Thank you.
Don't poke the cub, but don't poke the bear. That one right there. Especially when she's drinking her tea. All right.
Hi, Mikey.
Indeed, great promo. Check out the full documentary when it becomes available on YouTube. All righty. You all right there?
Yeah, I just for some reason started coughing.
Okay. Well, buckle down because it's time for some college football. Let's take a look and see what is going on from the previous week and where everyone is ranked and all that good stuff. Let's take a look. Where is it? I'll bring it up here on mine too if I need to. And we will go from there.
You only gave me NFL, not college.
Oh, rats. Okay, then that falls on me. All right, I can rattle them off. Because it looks like I didn't even do it this week. Oh my God.
I have week 11 right here in front of me.
For
fuck's sake, Mikey!
But I knew I missed something on that. All right. So we're just going to have to wing it on that. So I will have to bring up the scores. I knew I forgot something this week.
Nothing important happened.
Oh yeah, nothing important. Sure, something important happened.
Besides Jaden Daniels scoring 8 touchdowns.
And everything else going on with the state up north cheating.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We're going to get to that.
Good.
We're going to get to that. And the Vols getting their butts kicked at home.
Yeah. It was a disaster in week 12, but as Georgia defeated Tennessee 38-10, the Ohio State defeated Minnesota 37-3.
Sorry, Dori.
Michigan defeated Maryland 31-24, and I'm reading all these off of ESPN. Thank you, ESPN. Florida State defeated North Alabama 58-13. Washington defeated number 11 Oregon State 22-20. Oregon defeated Arizona State 49-13. Texas Longhorns defeated Iowa State 26-16. Alabama Crimson Tide 66-10 over Chattanooga. So Tennessee loses again. Missouri beats Florida. Thank you, Missouri. 33-31. Louisville beat the U 38-31. Penn State defeated Rutgers 27-6. Ole Miss defeated UL Monroe 35-3. The Sooners beat BYU 31-24. LSU defeated Georgia State 56-14. That makes Zach happy. Iowa defeats Illinois 15-13. Arizona beat number 22 Utah 42-18. Notre Dame beat Wake Forest 45-7.
Go Irish.
Clemson upset North Carolina 31-20. Kansas State defeated Kansas in a rivalry game 31-27. Oklahoma State defeated Houston 43-30, and Tulane defeated Florida Atlantic 24-8. All right, so where do we start in this debacle that is college football?
Number 3. You got to.
Michigan and Maryland?
No. Get Maryland out of there. Michigan
Michigan
Dori?
get their 1,000th win.
Yes, dear.
May I ask permission to add an additional F-bomb?
Yes.
Fuck Michigan.
Is it Michigan overall or is it Harbaugh?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Ohio State. The answer is always yes.
Gotcha.
Well, you got the game coming up this weekend. We know that. We had one big game, Tennessee, Georgia this week. Now we turn tide towards you.
The game. The only game
that matters, in college
in your
football.
personal opinion.
In my opinion, when it comes to
Noah watches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to Ohio State, you can go Christian yourself. Mansfield.
Oh God, you two! Wow.
Hey! They beat us by a point. By a point.
I can see the vein popping out of your head.
On the final play of the game. How do you think that makes me feel?
About the same way I feel about my football game recently. So,
But I will give you credit for one thing, Mansfield, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. Hey now, I'm liking that boy CJ Stroud a lot right now. I love that.
Almost getting ready for the pros, but also I'm pretty certain Georgia has regained the number 1 spot. I think, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
So
they got it back last week, and they kept it this week.
Yeah.
The only changes to the top 10 were Washington has jumped Florida State.
What I'd really like to do, I want to compare what Ohio State has done to what Georgia has done. I'm pretty certain Ohio State, has performed better in all of their games this season. Because again, I've said it from the beginning, Georgia has not played anybody worthwhile, meaning in the top 25.
you do just realize you said our adopted home team are not worthwhile.
No, well, they are in the fact that Georgia finally played somebody in the top 25. Yes, I was rooting for the Vols. Yes, I kind of knew they were going to get. I didn't think they would get totally demolished. I actually got to see some of the game at work with my coworkers and all that. But once halftime hit and they had like a 3 touchdown lead, even my boss being there didn't help. Apparently she had audio problems. Either that or the stadium was too loud, but she was there nonetheless. And it was not a good day for our Vols. It hasn't been a good season for our Vols. Yet Georgia, they get to keep the number 1 spot when they're not playing top 10 teams. It's kind of like the scene in Rocky 3 when Mickey and Rocky are there and he's like, were they fixed? He's like, no, they were good fighters, but I was protecting you. Why are you protecting the national championship? If you're number 1, you need to prove you're number 1. Bottom line. Go ahead, Josh.
I was doing that to help Zach out.
Oh, okay.
Flag on the play. False start on the Mikey. 5-yard penalty because. If you haven't been paying attention, Mikey, the last 3 weeks in a row, besides Tennessee, no offense, but they played 4 teams in the top 20. 3 of those teams were in the top 10. Mizzou, Ole Miss, and who's the
You lost the other one.
They obviously don't matter. But the reason Ohio State is going to get their win, they're going to beat Michigan.
Damn straight we are.
Hold on. Here's where things are going to get chaotic because Michigan's going to lose, and then all hell is going to break loose. Because I'm choking myself because I can't believe these words are going to come out of my mouth. I want to throw up. I want to. Alabama.
Just do it off camera.
Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
Really? Wow. There's a prediction. Is that a prediction or a spoiler?
That's a spoiler.
Wow.
And then you look at it. The only thing that can make it even more chaotic is if Clemson beats Florida State in the ACC title game. Then you got a situation there where you have Alabama who beat Georgia, But you also have Texas sitting there who beat Alabama. And then
Alabama Georgia is a great rivalry because, of course, it's just so. At the end of the day, it's all red, crimson versus bulldog red. You can't compare colors that have the same teams. I learned this the hard way with a Clemson orange guy. I'm like, we have orange here in Tennessee, but that's a whole other topic on itself. So let's look at this quick scenario here. Give me your quick thought. If the Ohio State beats Michigan and Alabama beats Georgia, does the Ohio State regain the number one spot?
Duh, obviously.
Yeah.
And neither of those are ifs; they're when.
So Georgia's going to lose. Ohio State's going to beat Michigan because Michigan doesn't have Harbaugh. I mean, if Michigan had Harbaugh, then it'd be a little more competitive. I still think Ohio State would come out on top because, but the thing that I like the most about this whole craziness scenario is Texas. You know why, Mikey?
Go ahead.
Because with Texas, if you have Texas in the playoff, Texas has to suck up their pride and put one person on the field because you can't have a Texas team in a playoff and have a Manning on your roster and not make him your starter. That's going to cause a lot of chaos because Quinn Ewers is out for the rest of the year and they put this whole backup 5-star recruit in because they don't feel like Arch is ready. But if you put Texas on the main stage in the playoff, you can't have a game without a Manning on the field, bro.
Indeed.
I mean,
timeout. James?
Timeout. We're going to derail for a second. Mikey, I got this one.
Go ahead.
So we had our the trailer we just showed is a collaboration effect by one of our help me with my words.
One of the family.
One of the Meacham Universe family. This from the Jay Hebert side of things. This documentary is actually his uncle.
Wow.
This
Amazing.
is a family member of his, and he really enjoyed the reaction, and he's thanking everybody for support. It's a collaborative effort, and he's just happy to be a part of the ride with his beloved legend of an uncle. And you know what, James? Happy for you. Happy for your family. I can't wait to see the entire documentary. Had a love of hockey since I was little. I've never had anybody to help me follow it and learn with it. And so that's what's going on now. And I'm just really excited to see this behind the scenes about somebody who was a major player, especially since, even more so since he's indirectly part of the family here.
Indeed.
I'm very happy for you, and I can't wait to see what comes out of this.
Indeed, we are. All right. If there's nothing more in college football, let's go into
Yes, I have one thing for you for college football.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the NCAA.com rankings,
Mhm.
and your top 5 teams are undefeated. Georgia, The Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, and Washington. 10-0.
There you go. It's so difficult the battle begins because bottom line, and hold on, Josh, I'll get to you and then we'll finish up college. At the end of the day, they all share the same stat. They are all undefeated. And then the questions come up. How many points have they scored? Who have they faced? Did they do this? Did they do that? What makes them number one? And then you get deeper and deeper into the weeds. And before you know it, the coach is gone, so they can't be number one anymore, but they still are undefeated without him. So it is what it is. Josh, finish us off.
I would like to do a little quick big shout out to my alma mater, my college, Youngstown State University, for making our divisional playoffs for the first time since my freshman year of college in 2016. So go Penguins. So freaking happy for you guys. So awesome. Great to see.
All righty. It's time for the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar. What we come into the sports bar every week for, and that is good old NFL football. We start off the week. The games all started.
That's a good reason.
One last comment. Good old double A.
May I real quick?
Yes.
JJ?
Uh-oh.
You realize that right now, that means you are going up against not just me, not just the founder, Jeff motherfucking Meacham himself, but you're also going up against the man who does not give a crap about sports except for this one game the entire year of any sports at all. That is the simple man, Noah Foster.
Shut your bitch ass up.
You could not have timed that any better, bro.
You
He
really
was just waiting to hit.
What are you, a fucking piece of shit?
You really wouldn't be going up against the three of us this Saturday on Open?
Go fuck yourself.
Stop, Josh. This
Oh,
is you
you're
digging
gonna
your own grave. Stop.
JJ, you're gonna get it on Saturday from the three of us.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
Can't use that when he's on my side.
And he just keeps going.
See
If
what
this
happens.
was- this was
Josh,
around
okay,
the horn, I could
okay.
push the button and make him stop, but I can't
All
make
right.
him stop. You
Oh,
just-
JJ, throw Homer Simpson in there too, JJ.
Why not? That's the only... Asking ye shall receive. Let's kick off week 11, please, and get back on the rails because this is
Yes.
the only topic we have left, and then we get to go home until next week. Week 11 started off. Wow, Thursday night with our first
Cincinnati at
matchup.
Baltimore.
Oh no.
Yes. The Bengals took on the Ravens, and the Birds win 34-20.
Yuck.
This was an interesting game, and this was actually, sadly, the only game I got to watch because of my work schedule. But before I get into the actual stats here, Lamar Jackson got injured in the first quarter. He was able to basically walk it off during while the defense was on the field and came back to play the rest of the game. And then tight end Mark Andrews had a left ankle injury in the first quarter, and he was out for the rest of the game. I don't have updates on what's going on with that right now.
He's out in general, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Now-
they're optimistic about it.
Joe Burrow got injured in the second quarter, and there's actually some investigation happening with this.
Yeah.
He was doing, you could see him trying to do like light practice throws on the sideline, and he went to throw it and it just dropped. So it's something to do with his right wrist. I believe they said tendon tendons. And Jake Browning came in. This was Jake Browning's second game of the season, but he did a okay job considering it's only his second game and he's the backup. But Burrow is out for the rest of the season. So right now they're looking at Browning. Before he went out, Burrows was 11 of 17 for 101 yards with a touchdown. He rushed once for 7 yards. When Browning took over, he completed 8 out of 14 passes for 68 yards with a touchdown, and he rushed 4 times for 40 yards. Running back Joe Mixon was 5 of 5 for 31 yards with a touchdown. I'm sorry. With 1 touchdown, rushed 16 times for 69 yards. Tight end Tanner Hudson was 4-4 for 49 yards. Over for Baltimore, Lamar Jackson went 16 of 26 for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushed 9 times for 56 yards. Running back Gus Edwards caught 2 out of 2 for 8 yards, and he rushed 12 times for 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. And wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. caught 4 out of 7 for 116 yards. And that is your Cincinnati-Baltimore stats.
And I think that was also the game that got delayed because of drones.
Yes, there was a couple of delays because of drones. Yes, I had that noted too.
Morons. Why would you do that? All right.
Really?
Yeah. This game makes Josh happy as the Browns beat the Steelers 13-10.
All right.
And the Browns got Matt Canada fired.
Yes. Yes, Matt Canada is now gone. And they said there's somebody up who's just stepping up in the meantime. All right. Kenny Pickett, 15 of 28, 106 yards, rushed 4 times for 9 yards. This man did not get any touchdowns. However, he did not throw any interceptions either. Running back Jalen Warren caught 3 out of 3 for 16 yards, and he rushed 9 times for 129 yards with a touchdown. And wide receiver George Pickens caught 4 out of 6 for 38 yards. He rushed once, -1 yard. Yeah, for Cleveland. And now I had this is one of my fantasy teams, and I was trying to wait to see what Dorian Thompson-Robinson did before I decided if I needed to find an alternate quarterback. But I'm not disappointed with what he did. 24 of 43 for 165 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he rushed 3 times for 20 yards. Running back Kareem Hunt caught 3 out of 3 for 1 yard and rushed 12 times for 36 yards, with wide receiver Elijah Moore catching 6 out of 7 for 60 yards.
Real quick, Dori.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So just a couple things from that have come in the aftermath of that game. The Browns have signed Joe Flacco to our practice squad. Not sure if he'll be elevated to the main roster or not. We'll see. We feel comfortable with DTR as our quarterback, but it's nice to have a vet, a Super Bowl winning vet at that in there. And just amazing to see the fact that the Browns are 5th, I believe, in the AFC and 2nd in the AFC North after this.
Well, they're not the team that anybody was expecting anymore. Same thing with the Detroit Lions, which we'll get to. I saw there were talks about signing Flacco. We'll see what happens.
The thing I want to touch on quickly on this was I like Pat McAfee's show. Every Tuesday morning, I'm watching First Take and I'm watching Pat McAfee. He put a great montage out there, just how bad they wanted to get rid of this guy. It happened at the Steelers games. It happened at the Penguins games. It happened on College game day. String them up, get the flash mob together. The only question is, why did it take so long
to get rid of Canada?
And of course, let's not forget the South Park memes are coming out now. Blame Canada, blame Canada. Just saying.
But I will say, you're welcome, Steelers. Because
not Canada can.
Yeah.
My last thing though is the fact that the Browns now, for a little stat, we have scored more points than the Chiefs this year, despite starting 3 different quarterbacks.
Yes.
We are not a team to be messed with, even though we have lost Watson and Nick Chubb.
Yep.
That tells you. Yes, Zach.
Finish it off, Zach, and then we'll go to the next game.
No offense to Deshaun. No offense to whoever else. That kid right there, the UCLA graduate, is your future.
Well, I'm aware.
The ceiling, I like DTR, man. The ceiling is really high for this kid. Let's move on.
I like him too. So thank you to DTR. And I just want to say one very last quick thing. It was so heartwarming to see the game ball after that game being given to Jim Donovan,
Indeed.
the voice of Cleveland Browns radio, coming back for his first game after leaving to do chemo again after his leukemia came back, this being his first game back. And the Browns posted a reaction video on their social media of him when he came out to do the guitar smash, and then when he went up into the booth. It was just the emotions.
Indeed,
so
it was.
This is why I love being a Browns fan. Thank you, Browns. Ha Steelers. You got what you deserved.
All right. Moving on to the next game, please. The Lions continuing their rise to the top. The cream of the crop, the rise to the top as they beat the Bears. 31-26. Dori Lou, take it away.
Justin Fields completed 16 of 23 passes for 169 yards with 1 touchdown. He rushed 18 times for 104 yards. Running back Khalil Herbert caught 2 out of 3 passes for 6 yards, rushed 16 times for 35, and wide receiver DJ Moore caught 7 out of 9 passes for 96 yards and 1 touchdown. Over for your Detroit Lions, who is now my defense. I swapped out the Jets because, it's the Jets, and I'm disappointed. But I picked up the Lions defense, and I think that was a good choice. Jared Goff went completed 23 of 35 for 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 3 interceptions, though. He rushed twice for 3 yards. A wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, caught 8 out of 11 passes for 77 yards with a touchdown. And running back David Montgomery caught 2 of 2 for 22 yards, rushed 12 times for 76 yards with a touchdown. Go Lions.
Go Lions. This was their number 1 step to try to get to the top. Stay tuned and find out what happened at the end. Next game, please. The Packers beat the Chargers 23-20.
Justin Herbert completed 21 of 36 passes for 260 yards with 2 touchdowns. He also rushed 8 times for 73 yards. Running back Eckler caught 2 out of 3 for 6 yards, rushed 10 times for 64 yards, and wide receiver Keenan Allen caught 10 of 16 for 116 yards with a touchdown. Over for Green Bay, Jordan Love completed 27 of 40 passes, 322 yards with 2 touchdowns. Then you've got your wide receivers here at the top. Jaden Reed caught 4 of 6 for 46 yards, rushed 3 times for 46 yards with a touchdown. And Dontavion Wicks caught 3 of 5 for 91 yards.
And I believe at the Thanksgiving game next week, I think it's supposed to be the rivalry Green Bay.
So next week's games are, Green Bay will be at Detroit. Washington will be at Dallas for the late afternoon game, and the evening game is San Francisco at Seattle. They're also having a game on Friday afternoon, Miami at the Jets.
So here's the scenario. Here's what needs to happen. Detroit needs to win, and with their momentum and the way Green Bay has been playing this year, here's my prediction. Detroit will win on Thanksgiving Day. Then Philadelphia is playing Buffalo. Can Buffalo get their stuff together and help Detroit be the number 1 team?
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can, for the power of positivity.
Are they not?
Next game, please. The Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13.
All right. Aiden O'Connell completed 24 of 41 passes for 271 yards with 1 touchdown. He threw 3 interceptions, rushed once for 3 yards. Running back Josh Jacobs caught the only pass that was thrown at him for 12 yards. He did rush 14 times for 39 yards. And wide receiver trader Devontae Adams. I'm sorry, did I say that? No, I'm not. Caught 7 of 13 targets for 82 yards with a touchdown. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to actually say it properly. Give me a moment. Tua Tagovailoa.
Yay! Correct.
Yay.
Completed 28 of 39 passes for 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, rushed twice for 6 yards. I said it. I'm proud of me.
Did.
Okay.
Really good.
Running back Raheem Mostert caught 1 of 2 passes for 7 yards. He rushed 22 times for 86 yards. And wide receiver Tyreek Hill caught 10 of 11 passes for 146 yards with a touchdown.
Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. I get my running back back finally from IR, and he goes out and gets hurt.
Everyone beats the Raiders. Beat up on the Raiders. Yeah, beat up on where are the Raiders on? Where's my Raider helmet? Here you go. Here they are. This is Stat Boy beating on the Raiders. There you go.
Just throw them in the trash can.
The 2 broken bones in my elbow, I could beat the Raiders.
And JJ with the funny comments. Listen, you don't even follow football, JJ.
Oh, man,
in your lane.
You're really pushing it, bro.
You're shuffling your own grave there. You know, you're digging it yourself, buddy.
We love you to death, bro. But I mean, come on. Next game. The Giants beat the Commanders for a rare win for the Giants, 31-19.
Giants and Commanders. There we go. DeVito, yeah, the Penguin.
Yo, DeVito! Hey, DeVito!
He completed 18 of 26 passes for 246 yards with 3 touchdowns. He rushed once for 7 yards. Running back Barkley caught 4 out of 5 passes for 57 yards with 2 touchdowns. He rushed 14 times for 83 yards. And wide receiver Darius Slayton caught 4 out of 5 for 82 yards with a touchdown. Over for the Commanders, Sam Howell completed 31 of 45 passes for 255 yards with a touchdown and throwing 1 interception. He did rush 3 times for 35 yards, and 1 of those resulted in a touchdown. Running back Brian Robinson caught 7 of 9 for 58 yards, rushed 17 times for 73 yards. And then tight end Logan Thomas, and shame on me because for whatever reason I don't have a stat. So let's go ahead and they lost anyway. So go ahead and moving on.
Okay, fine. Next game. Jeff and the Cowboys are rolling. Partly as the Cowboys they were playing the Panthers. The Panthers have not been playing good at all. We know this. You almost can call this a gimme game. 33-10, the final score.
All right, so Dak Prescott completed 25 of 38 passes for 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushed twice for 6 yards. Cooper Rush was in there briefly for completed 2 of 3 passes for 15 yards. He rushed 3 times for a total of -3 yards. Running back Tony Pollard caught 4 of 5 for 19 yards, rushed 19 times for 61 yards with a touchdown, and wide receiver Brandon Cooks caught 3 out of 4 targets for 42 yards. Over for Carolina, Bryce Young, 16 of 29 passes completed, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, and he threw an interception. He rushed twice for 3 yards. Running back Chuba Hubbard caught 2 of 2 for 8 yards, rushed 10 times for 57, and wide receiver, another trader, Adam Thielen, caught 8 out of 11 targets for 74 yards.
Before we get to your questions, Zach, we have to give a quick shout out to Jimmy Johnson, who is being brought into the Dallas Ring of Honor. Congratulations. Jerry Jones popped up on Fox News Sunday and broke the news. Unfortunately, he didn't know what year it was because he said 1923 instead of 2023. Much deserving. Well done. He was there. They were talking, and he said, on December 30th, 1923, you will be inducted. And Jimmy's like, what was the year? He's like, what's the year? He's like, 2023. They both share a laugh. But well deserved. What's your question, Zach?
Carolina, right? Frank Wright is in his first season as head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of speculation on the table. They've done really bad But do you really can a man after this, after inheriting this monstrosity of a team? I get it. Listen. It's not his fault. You know, they got a lot of issues, and the owner likes to fire people. A news article came out earlier on today. Dave Tapper, the owner of Carolina Panthers, who also owns multiple other businesses, has fired 1,736 employees this year.
Who's left? Me. Fire me.
Do we really think that Frank Reich is going to make it, even though, you know, it's not his fault that he inherited a god-awful team?
Probably.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
You're absolutely right, Zach. I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of the crap on Brown's Twitter of, oh, we should fire Stefanski. Like, what is wrong with people wanting for people to be fired when it's not their fault?
I've said that for years. I've said that at least once every season. Why fire the person that is not responsible for it? But that's a whole other topic.
On the other hand, he deserved to be fired, but they could have waited a little longer.
The head coach may be one of the main play callers and organizing the teams, but ultimately it's the players out there on the field that have to carry those orders through.
Exactly.
Now, if he's making bad calls, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Preaching to the choir.
And it sucks
Absolutely
because
preaching to the choir.
Their front office staff is fucking phenomenal.
Indeed. Next game. Next game, please. Excuse me. Where are my manners? I should be a little bit more respectful. But it's our residential team, the Titans, who lost to the Jaguars 34-14. Not a good look there, Granddad.
Why you gotta lose to Tony Khan?
Yeah, because it's Tony Khan? I don't know. So Levis completed only 13 of 17 passes. I mean, that's how rarely they had the ball, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
158 yards, but he did get the 2 touchdowns, and he rushed 4 times, but only for a total of 2 yards. Wide receiver Chris Moore caught 1 of 1 for 49 yards for 38 yards, and wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins caught 4 out of 5. Okay, somewhere I messed up because 3 touchdowns would be at least 18 points by themselves. So apparently I wrote something down wrong because I have Levis with 2 touchdowns and DeAndre Hopkins getting 1 also. So unless that includes a touchdown pass.
I'm not certain on it's probably another. Yeah, that doesn't. There was only 2 touchdowns from Tennessee, and they scored them in the second half. There's nothing else after that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that touchdown one of those touchdowns was credited for him throwing the touchdown pass to Hopkins.
Maybe so.
Okay, I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
All right, over for Jackson, the Jaguars. There we go.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence completed 24 of 32 passes, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, rushed 5 times for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns. Running back Travis Etienne caught 3 of 3 for 7 yards, rushed 14 times for 52. And wide receiver Calvin Ridley caught 7 of 9 for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushed once for 18 yards.
All righty, what's next?
More football.
The Texans that are with C.J. Stroud behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Took out the Cardinals 21-16.
All right. So Kyler Murray is back, in case you didn't know. He was back and started this game. He completed 20 of 30 passes for 214 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. He rushed 7 times for 51 yards. One of those rushes resulted in a touchdown. Running back James Conner caught 2 of 3 passes for a single yard and rushed 14 times for 62. Wide receiver Greg, he has kind of a weird last name. Is it Doach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. So wide receiver Greg Doach caught 6 of 8 passes for 76 yards. Over for Houston, C.J. Stroud completed 27 of 37 passes for 336 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw 3 interceptions. He rushed once, but he got negative yardage on that. Running back Singletary caught 2 of 2 for 6 yards, rushed 22 times for 112 yards with a touchdown. And wide receiver Tank Dell caught 8 of 10 passes for 149 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, buddy.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What's up next?
We're hearing about some players we don't normally report on.
Tampa Bay loses to San Francisco 27-14.
Are you surprised? I mean, really?
Yes.
Why?
No, I'm not surprised. Go ahead.
Okay. Baker Mayfield completed 29 of 45 passes for 246 yards with a touchdown and threw 1 interception. He rushed 3 times for 5 yards. Running back Rachaad White caught 6 out of 7 passes for 28 yards. He rushed 9 times for 30 yards with a touchdown. And wide receiver, another one I don't recall coming across previously, is Cade Otton, Otton. 4 of 5 passes for 49 yards. Over for Frisco, Brock Purdy completed 21 of 25 passes for 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, rushed 4 times for 14 yards. And I'm going to give this one my best shot as well. Receiver Brandon Ayuk caught 5 of 6 passes for 156 yards with a touchdown. And running back McCaffrey caught 5 of 5, 100% there for 25 yards with a touchdown. He rushed 21 times for 78 yards.
CMC.
Brock is looking pretty.
Yes, he is. Next up.
You like the way I said that, huh, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are taking on the struggling Jets to the point where Zach Wilson has been benched. 32-6 the final score.
So Zach Wilson did actually start the game, and he completed 7 of 15 passes for 81 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, rushed 4 times for 15 yards. And then Tim Boyle came in, and he completed 50% of his passes, 7 of 14, only 33 yards. He threw an interception. He rushed once for 1 yard. Running back Breece Hall caught 5 of 6 passes for 50 yards with a touchdown, rushed 10 times for 23 yards. And I think he was the top for both, so that's why I only have him listed there.
Yep.
Josh Allen over on Buffalo side completed 20 of 32 passes, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He rushed 5 times for 15 yards. Running back James Cook caught 3 of 4 passes for 29 yards with a touchdown. He rushed 17 times for 73 yards. And wide receiver Khalil Shakir caught 3 of 4 passes for 115 yards with a touchdown.
All righty. Moving on to the next one. The Rams squeak out a victory by a point, 17-16.
But yeah, by a point. All right. Over in Seattle, let's see. We started with Geno Smith, 22 of 34 for 233 yards with 1 touchdown. Drew Lock, name we haven't mentioned in a while, he came in briefly, completed 2 of 6 passes for 3 yards and an interception. Wide receiver DK Metcalf caught 5 of 9 for 94 yards with a touchdown. And running back Zach Charbonnet caught 6 of 6 for 22 yards for 15 times for 47 yards. Over for the Rams, Stafford completed 17 of 31 for 190 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He rushed twice for a single yard. Running back Royce Freeman rushed 17 times for 73 yards. And wide receiver, I need your guys' help with this one. Puka
Nakua, baby.
Thank you. Puka Nakua caught 5 of 7 for 70 yards with a touchdown. I wasn't going to butcher that one. Sorry, guys.
No, you were not. Unfortunately, the next game is the one that we are all dreading as the Broncos snap the 5-game or almost 6-game winning streak. It was a sad day for the Vikings. 21-20 as the Broncos squeak out a victory.
You know, and I was actually pretty proud of the Minnesota defense because prior to that last possession of Denver's where they got that winning touchdown, if I remember reading correctly, they kept them only down to field goals.
Yes.
The Broncos could not score a touchdown, so I was pretty proud of the Vikings defense.
Indeed.
I didn't get to listen to the end of the game because I kind of lost reception on my way home, but it is what it is.
It is.
Disappointed. All right. So for Minnesota, Dobbs completed 20 of 32 passes for 220 yards with a touchdown and an interception. He rushed 8 times for 21 yards with a touchdown. Madison caught only 1 of 2 for -1 yard, but he rushed 18 times for 81 yards. And tight end TJ Hawkinson caught 4 of 7 passes for 55 yards. Over for Denver, Russell Wilson, I will get the words out, completed 27 of 35 passes for 259 yards with a touchdown. He rushed twice for 1 yard. Running back Javonte Williams got both passes that he was targeted for 16 yards, rushed 11 times for 37 yards, and wide receiver Cortland Sutton caught 4 out of 5 passes for 66 yards with the only touchdown they got.
The Vikings will redeem themselves Monday night against the Bears. It's
yes,
okay.
We will.
Yes. Because let's face it, this hasn't been the Bears season, but it's only a small setback. And that's my prediction for that. That's final game of Week 11 took place last night. It was a Super Bowl rematch, and Philadelphia gets their revenge as the Chiefs just kept dropping balls left and right. They dropped the ball once, they dropped the ball twice, they dropped the ball 3 times. And in the rain, they let this play spoiler as the Eagles win 21-17.
All right. So I actually told Mike, I picked Kansas City I picked Philadelphia for this game, and he told me to get out. It was kind of funny.
Bad, Mikey.
You'll see why when we bring up the power rankings.
Jalen Hurts completed 14 of 22 passes for 150 yards. He threw 1 interception. He rushed 12 times for 29 yards. 2 of those resulted in touchdowns. Wide receiver Devontae Smith caught 6 of 8 passes for 99 yards. And running back DeAndre Swift, there's your Swift because Taylor's in Europe, caught 3 of 3 passes for 31 yards, for 76 yards with a touchdown. Over for Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes completed 24 of 43 passes for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He rushed 6 times for 38 yards. Running back Isaiah Pacheco caught 1 pass for 2 yards and rushed 19 times for 89 yards, while wide receiver Justin Watson caught 5 of 11 passes, 53 yards with a touchdown. Your buys this past week was Atlanta, New Orleans, Indiana, and New England, but there are no buys for week 12. Everybody is playing.
Because it's Thanksgiving week. All right, as we get into the power rankings, the goal was to get Detroit to be the number 1 team. For that to happen, they had to win, which they did, and Philadelphia had to lose and score no more than 20 points, but they scored 21 and they win. So the Eagles are still the number 1 team at 5 weeks. The Lions are right on their tails at 8-2. When it comes to the points, it really doesn't matter unless the teams are tied, but Philadelphia has 273 points, and the Lions have 272 points. So next week can be crucial, but of course the Eagles are playing a team that might not be able to beat them. So it might be this way for at least a couple more weeks after that. The Ravens move into the third spot at 8-3. They move up a spot. Miami moves up a spot at 7-3 and 305. Cowboys are at 302. San Francisco's at 279. Jacksonville's at 230, and Cleveland rounds out column 1 at 227. They stayed put at the bottom of column 1 for 2 weeks. The Chiefs, even though they had the loss, they are at the top of column 2, but they are still tied when it comes to records. They did drop 6 spots because of the loss. Houston is at 6-4 along with Pittsburgh and Seattle. They're all 6-4 there. The Steelers stayed put. The Texans moved up. The Seahawks moved down. The Bills and the Vikings are at 6-5. Vikings are still in column 2. It's okay. No need to panic yet. Everything is going to be A-okay with Minnesota and Buffalo. Indianapolis and New Orleans are at 5-5, and they round out the left. We move over to column 3. Denver's at 5-5. They moved up 3 spots. They're at 207 points. Cincinnati is also at 5-5, but they dropped a whole column. They went from 2 to 3. They're down to 203 points. Raiders are 5-6. Chargers are 4-6, tied with the Packers. Packers moved out of column 4 and into column 3. Rams are 4-6 as well, along with the Buccaneers, and the Falcons stay put. The Jets are at the top of column 4. The Commanders are all by themselves at 4-7. The Titans stay put at 3-7 for 2 weeks. The Bears have not moved. They are locked in that spot in the middle of column 4 for the past month. The Giants move up 2 spaces. The Patriots are stuck where they are. The Cardinals move down 2, and the Panthers are at the bottom of the barrel, back at the week. As you can see in the corner of the little graphic there, we have a little new thing going on there. Little Bart Simpson has come in with his little spray can, and he has X'd out the Cardinals and the Panthers because they are mathematically eliminated from becoming the number 1 seed. This is going to be a thing. I kept referring to this as the red, and I thought, well, is there some little character we can create or we can use, like the red just comes up from the bottom of the ground and starts Xing out teams? Renegade says, let's put this in there. So he gave me the graphic, and this is what's going to be happening now each week as teams lose the opportunity to become the number 1 seed or lose the chance at their division title or become eliminated. So that's how we're going to do it this season.
Thank you, Renegade.
Well done, Renegade. And all we have left is the Pick'em contest. So let's quickly put that up. Fantasy God wins the week at 11 with Dori Lou and Nathan right behind him at 10, Renegade and Emmanuel at 8, JP, Jeff, and Daniel at 7, and Pop at 6. Pop, I know you don't want to pick Dallas, but Dallas versus Carolina was a gimme, so break your own rule, and there would have been a 4-way tie at the bottom. Overall, JP and Daniel have cracked the centennial mark, the century mark, the 100 mark. They're at 102 and 101. Dori Lou is right on their heels at 98, Nathan at 97, Emmanuel at 96, Renegade at 87, Pop and Big Baller G at 85, and Zach at 84. As we go into week 12 and a full week of football. And that pretty much almost shuts down the bar. We got Shields to do. We still have a shout out to do. We still have a weekly delight. And I think
hey now. Yeah, I may be on top 8. That's because I work a lot. You know, I sleep past putting in my picks, but I am on top of one thing though.
Oh, and on that note, we definitely need one last.
We're not going to discuss that all.
You ain't got me by much there, buddy.
I know. I love this.
I'm nipping at your heels.
This rivalry is beautiful.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, but we left Mikey in the dust, so it's okay.
Yeah. One last break, and then
that one's to me, right, JJ?
No. Big time. I think, right?
Yep.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
All righty. So let's just finish up with what's going on. It looks like we lost the fantasy god due to technical issues, but that's okay. It's no big worry. And we have the Renegade popping in here to help us out with the shills and the shout outs and everything. So are we doing shills or shout out first?
Shills first, because there's not that many of them. Jeff didn't give me a whole bunch to do, so I've only got a couple of things to promote real quick.
Okay.
All right. Go for it.
First of all, make sure you guys tune in every Monday through Thursday for the Love of Wrestling, my daily recap show. There was none today because of circumstances beyond my control. So tomorrow I will be reviewing Raw and NXT. Thursday I'll review Dynamite. Mondays I do SmackDown, Rampage, and Collision, etc., etc. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for our watch-along of the Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite. Noah and myself will be on the call for that. And then on Thursday, at some point throughout the day, time TBD, we will be presenting a Multiverse of Media Thanksgiving special. A lot of our contributors have been sending videos as far as what they are thankful for, and we will be airing those while I host MC it. Think old school MTV where the VJ would throw to a video, come out, then throw to the next one. It's basically what it's going to be. And then, by popular demand, after the success of Saturday, Disney Karaoke will return July 19th, 2025. That'll be the Saturday after the 70th anniversary of Disneyland.
Okay, 2025 or 2024, honey?
2025.
It's 2025 because the park was opened in 55.
Got it.
Indeed.
I don't have to worry about that far in advance then. Okay. All right.
So my shout out this week, if you have in our little circle, we've gotten all of us in a sense, but it has to go to the man whose name is on the marquee because of who he met this past weekend. And all of us in the circle saw it. I think we're going to show it again. This guy down here got
rained
brutally, but at the end of the day, it was amazing that he took the time to do this. Congratulations to Jeff on getting the current and longest reigning AEW champion, MJF, to drop a couple promos on us, and especially on this guy down here, but it's worth it. If you haven't seen the clip, I think we're going to throw to it. Is that correct?
You're live at OG Collective. I'll take it from here. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you watch Jeff Meacham programming, probably a little poor. My name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman. I am the longest reigning AEW World Champion and the best professional wrestler on the fucking planet. And if you want to listen to the best professional wrestling journalist, broadcaster, commentator, fat guy, you need to check out Jeff Meacham's channel. He is far superior to Aaron Rift's. When I was in middle school and I wanted to watch the Monday Night Raw review, every single time I watched Jeff Meacham, No DQ, YouTube every week. He's very good at his job. He is as intelligent as he is fat. Thank you.
That's a lot.
And that's a lot.
So everybody needs...
We're getting ready to leave, but Max insisted that he talk to
I got to talk to Josh Mansfield real quick. Josh, you've never seen Mary Poppins? What are you, a fucking piece of shit? Grow up. And also, the Meltzer of the multiverse.
I know.
Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man. Fuck. Watch Mary Poppins or go kill yourself.
And then watch Full Gear after that.
Absolutely. This Saturday, November 18th.
Because we're going to kill Jay White.
Yeah, it's fuck Jay White season,
Fuck Jay White season.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that guy.
So everybody needs to go out, even though you already have done it, to the point where Jeff's Twitter followers soared. You got to do what MJF says and keep an eye out for all of us. You've seen our Twitter handles, our IG, our social media. Do what MJF says and keep watching this channel. I would have loved him to shoot me down, but hey, that didn't happen. But hey, I mean, it was amazing that he did that. If we ever get a chance,
for once in your life, you didn't get roasted, Mikey. Take it as a W.
He's not
exactly.
wrong.
He's exactly right.
But again, Max, if you're watching, thank you for doing that for the channel and for Jeff. I mean, when I first saw the tweet, I almost hit the floor. I did not know that. And see, this makes me now like MJF a little bit more because I just thought he was, the meanest wrestler in the world. But it just shows that he does have a humble side and he will help people out.
Well, here's the thing, Mikey.
Go ahead.
As Jeff said, following everything, Jeff Meacham and No DQ and everything are the reason MJF is the way he is. They made him the scumbag that he is because he enjoyed to watch the dirt sheets. So, if you want to know why MJF is the way he is, you have one person to thank for that, and that is Jeff motherfucking Meacham.
The man on the marquee. Well done indeed. All righty, friends. We're at the tail end. We're at the very end. We always end with a note of positivity. Take it away, Stat Girl.
All right. We're coming into a big football week, and I found a quote from Mr. Football, Vince Lombardi.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And I really like this, and I think it's a good frame of mind to have. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster men, I'm going to say, or women.
Mm-hmm.
But sooner or later, the person who wins is the person who thinks that they can.
There you go.
Positive frame of thought.
Indeed. You think you can win, and you will. That's what we do in life. To everybody who's watching, thank you all. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Take this time to sit at the table with your family, and while you're stuffing yourself with stuffing, make sure you tell your family you love them and you thank them for everything they do. I know I do. I love my family greatly. I say it every week. It just means a little bit more because it's almost turkey time in about 2 days. But in 7 days, we come back for the next week. Hopefully, I get to put Detroit on the #1 spot because that's what I want to do in this sports bar. I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Josh, you rock. Thank you for coming in. I love you, my brother. For the Stat Girl, Stat Boy, out.
Fuck Bill.
The Jeff Meacham Network. multiverse of media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.